Welcome to week 2 of Non-Western Literature of the Americas, English 209 here at Lynn Benton Community College. And I just want to say that the first week, it introduced us to the work of some contemporary filmmakers. At least it exposed us to some of that work. It exposed us to some of the thinking in the minds of indigenous filmmakers. And week 2 continues to examine our indigenous representations in this country. Now, when I started the class with just those indigenous representations, these short clips that I was able to share with you, they were made by indigenous filmmakers. And for some of us, that might have been the first time that we'd seen indigenous filmmaking. Usually, when we are exposed to representations in the media of Native Americans, it's it's pretty bad. It's been bad for 100 years, or more, longer actually. And this week we're going to look at a documentary made by an indigenous filmmaker called Real ENG. And I am aware from having read the forums that some of you guys have already seen it, so yay! But many of you haven't, I hope anyway, and that you will enjoy it, and that it'll be expansive for your mind, and that it'll be a really great way for us to start the class, because, week 2, we're starting the class still, kind of, because we haven't, we've got a couple different books that we're going to be reading. We'll be getting into the Popol Vuh of the Mayan. We'll be getting into specific Aztec poetry in this book. So if you haven't already picked it up, it's called In the Language of Kings, and we will need it in the coming weeks. It's a little bit fat, but it's totally beautiful, and you can keep it for the rest of your life. And you can just open it up to different styles of Mesoamerican literature. Another book that we're going to be reading and discussing, especially in the spirit of representation, is this book by Jaime de Angelo, who lived among native tribes in Northern California for 20 years. And he sort of pulled together a lot of their stories into this piece. And I think that this piece, one, it's kind of beautiful to read. But despite that it's beautiful to read, it brings up very challenging questions about representation and who gets to tell which stories. So that's why we're reading it. But for week 2, and that's all this little introduction is about, I wanted to talk about why you only see the one link down there. It's this big conversation. I better look so that I get the title of the link correct. I'm going to take a peek here at the week 2 link. And yeah, it just says, due Thursday, Real ENG questions, responses, and discussion. Now, Thursday feels, whoa, that's a lot of time. Risley, I demand more work. I know you demand more work. The movie's 2 hours long, so enjoy that. I'm just trying to take your time into consideration here. But also we have the contract grading feature to deal with. And in the case of forums, I can't do this little sorting thing that I'm allowed to do. So I have to include a section in our instructions called criteria. And I just sort of want to read it with everybody. I don't want any confusion. Again, if you ever do have confusion, you can always email, call, etc. So criteria: C contract students will watch Real ENG and answer any 3 of the below questions with responses of at least 50 words for each question. So that's it. They're just going to write 3 responses. Those are contracts for the C. Students contracting for the B will watch Real ENG and answer any 5 questions below. There are 7. One is specifically only for the A level because there's another piece of material that they're expected to consume. And their answers will be, each one will be 100. So for the B contract, they're writing 500 words, a 500-word assignment. For the C contract, they're writing a 150-word assignment. So there's a big difference. That's why the Thursday, okay? Because it's, I want you to be thoughtful. I want you to consider these. So I hope that you'll watch the movie on Monday. And to watch the movie, you have to come to this forum, and you'll get to see the questions and look. And you'll be thinking about them while you watch the movie. Students contracting for the A grade will watch Real Engine and answer all 7 questions with responses of at least 200 words for each question. Each of their answers will also include, B levels are also quoting from a different article. A's are going to make 2 quotes from that article in their questions. And then their answer for question 7 will also reference, it's an interview, it's an audio piece. It's not very long, it's about 21 minutes, but it's rich and deep, and it should lead to some even deeper thinking. So I have in this contract tried to be respectful of people's time. If you look at your own time, I'm overwhelmed, I have too much. All you have to do is send me an email, and I can create a lower contract. If you go this is kind of representative of what the expectations are. So there will be an item in the grade book for this forum. It's worth 30 points, which is a lot. So I'm just, trying to listen, the whole notion of assessment, I've always felt like, yes, of course, it's about assessment, which is making sure that people are receiving what we are sending. But in also some ways, it's also about motivating people, forgive my pronunciation there, motivating people. And some people are very motivated by deadlines and grades and really formal things. I'm motivated by a sincere love of literature, and I hope that we all are. I hope that that's what I'm trying to impart here. So by the choices of the materials that I'm sharing with you, I'm just trying to impart my passion and my engagement with literature, and in this material specifically. So this has been our introductory video for week 2. Again, we just have that one assignment that looks like it's due on Thursday, and you could look down there and you could go I don't have to open this until Thursday. Don't do that, because you won't have time. I need to make another reminder. Obviously, your first responses are due Thursday at midnight, and if I have time, I can get in there and grade on Friday, and if I see that somebody hasn't done something, I just have to put 0 because it's not there. So, and I hate that stick part of assessment. I hate the stick. I really do. I really, really, truly do. And sometimes I don't make it put in the grades. Sometimes I also need to make sure that students have replied, because this is a 2-part. I have a little reminder here. Remember that each student needs to read and comment on the responses of at least 2 other students before Sunday. So I will also be looking for those, and that's why 7 questions is 30 points, because I'm also factoring in replies. Anyway, I hope that you love the movie, that you're enjoying the class, and that it's opening. I know that a lot of people, just based on your incredible responses to the forums in week 1, I know so many people have such good background with this already. So if it feels like, Risley, make us work harder, blow our minds, mind-blowing will come, especially with the Popol Vuh. It will. Again, let me remind everybody to pick up In the Language of Kings. I'm going to go look and see what that looks like in the pretty picture. There it is. Yeah, I see it in the pretty picture. Look at all that pretty right there. See the pretty picture. That was a joke I made for my wife, who's also teaching here. We're just working all day long. But, okay. So that was the end of week 2 talk, and I hope you have a great week. I look forward to seeing your work toward the end of this week. And not to use the word week 1,000 times, but have a great week.